All right. Time for a new pod. I've been out of the saddle for a while, been traveling a ton. I'm going to knock a bunch out this week. And I'm kicking them off with Lane Walter out of Colorado. How you doing, Lane?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Doing great, man. We have a mutual friend, Mike Hearn. Mike works with Tricer, works with me. And I was like, I need some guys to talk to on the podcast. Running out of people. And he's like, you got to talk to my buddy Lane. And I don't know nothing about you, dude.
Right, I did. I absolutely love Mike. He is really good people. Our buddy Lance is living with him right now because he just retired from the military, and Mike's getting ready to get out. I mean, two solid dudes.
Yeah, and definitely. Is Lance the big coyote guy?
Yeah, yeah, huge predator hunter, man.
Yeah. So like I know Mike's super into predator hunting. He told me he goes with his roommate all the time. So I'm into that. And you are living in Colorado, a little north of Denver, and you're a firefighter.
Yep, yeah, I'm a firefighter in the largest department in the city or in the state, and then trying to stay busy with that. And between that, between my kids and wife, and then hunting and filming hunts and doing as much as I can. And I do some rodeo filming, and yeah, trying to stay busy.
Oh, you actually film hunts.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Like
I
like I
felt
can
like
hire you out, or like you
yeah,
get
I
hired out to
started
do.
out, oh man, 2012 with Trevin Stoltzfus with Outback Outdoors, and he
Huh.
kinda ran me through some camera schools, started learning some stuff with him, and then, 2014 branched out, started filming with some other guys. I did some stuff with Eastman's. I filmed Brian Barney's first hunt
Did
that
you?
was ever filmed. Yeah, dude, guy kinda he was like, "Hey, I need you to hire you this fall." I'm like, "All right, cool." And he's making it sound like it's going to be this easier hunt. And then, and it was supposed to be. And then last minute, he's like, "Hey, there's this other guy that we're going to film for the first time. I'm going to have you go film him instead." So I went from filming like this
Nothing easy
lodge
about
hunt
filming Barney.
to, dude, yeah, that guy is an animal on the mountain, man. Just a
I
straight up animal.
Probably one of the greatest hunters of our generation as
He's
well.
awesome.
It
Yeah.
just phenomenal hunter. Just has like that like sixth sense when it comes to killing animals with a
And
bow
he's
and
so
just the way he
genuine,
does it.
man. Just
Dude, the
so
coolest
genuine.
dude.
And when you know how it is when you're hunting and you get to know people when you spend time with them on the mountain, and just spending those few days with Brian on the mountain was awesome, dude. Seeing him for the pressure on the first time, like that I've seen break so many people when you're filming their first hunt, and the way that he just kept his cool the whole time on it. And he would let me know, he's like, "I'm feeling pressured to fulfill this hunt, because they're putting all this trust in me and everything." And at the same time, he just was awesome. So
Yeah, so I film all my hunts now, and like I've kind of just like I just tell everybody all the time, like I just suck at hunting. Like I'm not like I kill a lot of stuff, right? But I'm not Brian, right? And I'm not, and like I've kind of just been like putting in my, even if I don't kill something, I put it out, right? And like I'm
yep.
just kind of like just get to know me, right? Like I've learned like I love hunting just as much as Barney or Lampers or Schneider, any of these guys, right? But I just don't kill giant stuff like those guys have seem to do every single time, you know? And
Uh,
I love it. Like we just did a bear hunt and it was me, Cody Rich, my buddy Travis, and then Brad Hunt. And like I mean, all of us can glass, all of us can hunt, but I only got one opportunity to bear in 7 days. You know what I mean? It was 90 degrees. And like, what are you gonna do with this? I'm like, I don't know, I'll probably put a film together and put it out. Like, I mean, the majority of dudes, that's why when you talk about pressure, like there's a reason why success rates are 20%. That means like 4 out of 5 guys go home empty handed, right?
all the time, all the
All the
time.
time, every hunt, right? And in that 20%, 10% of those are the same dudes killing every year, right? I mean, 10% of those tags are the same dudes just freaking killing elk every year because they're just phenomenal hunters,
What
right?
I joke around with guys at work and stuff is that there's hunters and there's killers. And guys
Yeah,
like Brian and Lampers and Schneider, they're killers, just straight up
yeah,
killers. My father-in-law, just a killer. You put him somewhere, he's going to kill something.
yeah.
I got to work for it. And the reason I'm successful is because I stay out there for 30 days if I have to
That's
make it
that's
happen.
me 100%. Is the only reason I'm successful is like I'm just too stupid to quit,
Yep.
right? And I put myself in situations where I glass all day long. You'll never see me go back to the tent. Like I will stay out in the sun and glass all day long because I know like I just don't have the skill set to like that sixth sense these guys have. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
successful. I mean, like I don't even know how many animals I've killed this year. I've killed a ton just between January and now. It's just I just don't have like there's a level to this thing. Like there's like high school football players and there's like Tom Brady and like Barney's in that Tom Brady like level of hunter where he just like he just is in the right spot, right time, understands it, just reads it better and just sees it. And like I'm more than willing to admit that I love hunting as much as him, but he's just next level awesome.
Next level and obsessed. His scouting, like when we were on that hunt and he's talking, he's like, "Oh yeah, I was just up here last weekend and he got done watching his daughter's like volleyball game on a Friday night and then he drove overnight to get there and then he hiked in and he did a 26-mile loop just
Yeah.
glassing and then he was home Sunday night so that he could take his daughters to school again on Monday and then 4 days later drove the 8 hours back to where that hunt was and was hunting it. So less his obsession level with it is huge, and I think that's a huge part of why he's so successful with it too. Is he's like that was his 20th time driving down there and scouting that spot.
Yeah,
So
he's that, and then he's also, like, in really good shape, right? Like, I camped with him for a week, and, the guy got up and went we were doing, like, a seminar together, and the guy got up every morning at, like, 4 AM and went hiking. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm up there like, "No, I'm sleeping next to this lake and get up and go do some trout fishing and do my thing," you know? And he's just yeah, he's a killer. I have so much respect for Brian. This isn't a podcast about how great Brian is, but, he's been on the pod before, and I have so much respect for him and a lot in common with him when it comes to like our father's businesses and construction, the whole thing. So, yeah, awesome, dude. So man, firefighter is like kind of a cool gig. Like I've been telling my kid, like, what are you gonna do? Like my one boy's gonna be a lawyer. He's going to college right now. We just picked him up from his missionary. He did a 6 month mission trip. He's gonna go to college this fall. He wants to be a lawyer. My other boy, like, he's kind of like, I don't know. And I'm like, dude, firefighting or a nurse. He doesn't for some reason he can't get over the nurse thing, like being a male nurse, like Fokker, like the parents.
yep,
But like, dude, my buddies who are firefighters, my buddies who are nurses hunt all the time.
yeah, yeah. The schedule makes it really easy to get out and hunt because I can do shift trades with people, and so during the summertime I'm working shift trades so that I get all of September off, and that's a huge draw to it
Oh,
for
so you
me.
just stack.
I just stack days off. Yeah, just with trades and everything. That's not why I went to it originally. My older brother joined the fire department closest to our house when I was like 16, and then when I was 17. We were out hanging out, and one of the guys was like, "Hey, you swing by the firehouse. You come check it out." And that night, I swung by the firehouse. They were doing a training. They put me through like some down firefighter stuff, and I knew right then and there that's what I was supposed to do with my life. It was awesome. I had a guy
Really?
from Greeley that was out there training, and he was like, "Hey, this is." Yeah, he's like, "You're pretty good at staying calm and being natural in this, and you should look into this." And I just fell in love with it. I knew that's what I was supposed to do for my life. And then eventually got hired on the biggest fire department in Colorado, the busiest. For 2 years, I was on the busiest engine in the state. It's just awesome, and I absolutely love it. So if your boy's looking at it, it's an amazing job. It's changed a lot in the 20 years I've been doing it, but it's still an amazing job, and it's what I'm supposed to do for my life. And then the benefit and the bonus on top of that is, hey, like you can have a ton of time off. I think the thing that I was working in the oil field before I got hired on at the fire department, and I was making
Hmm.
$160,000 a year back in 2011 as a 22-year-old that hadn't graduated college. And then I quit the oil field to go to the fire department and make $45,000 a year. So $120,000 pay cut, and
Yeah.
it's the best move I've ever done in my life. It's the happiest I've ever been for that because I'm actually doing what I'm supposed to do and chasing my passion.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I didn't get to experience that, right? And so I went full time Tricer last year, and like it's just been an explosion ever since. Like the best thing I ever did, right? And like having a job that I love
Yep.
is next level. And that's like it's so important. People miss that, right? They just
Yeah.
look for a job. Like I just need a job or a career. And I think that's kind of a product of like our society, of like the public school system. Like that's where we homeschool our kids. Like it's like they're just trying to create these like little employees and like just you have to go get a job, you have to do this stuff, which I guess is like kind of like a more of an old school mentality. But man, like when you can find something you're passionate about, like firefighting or being a sheriff or whatever it is, you know what I mean? Maybe it is being an accountant. Maybe you just love being an accountant. um, you never work a day in your life. I never understood that until the last couple of years, and I'm like, oh wow, like really, I feel like I never work a day in my life. Like I got the coolest job in the world. Like I'm talking to Lane right now on a Monday morning about hunting and elk, and we're gonna get into sheep and all that stuff here, and that's awesome.
Yeah, it is. And there's
So
still days, man, I have to go to work, and it feels like I'm going to work, but at the same
yeah,
time, it's still my passion. And then I get to chase the hunting and I get to film as much as I want. It's amazing.
and so are you like available for hire? Like if I needed you to go film some hunts, like you're available for that? Like you have your own like gig?
I've gotten to where I'm really picky as to when I'm going on now. I'm so busy with my
Okay.
hunts and then hunting with the family and then the guys that I'm already filming. Derek Wolf retired from the NFL a few years ago, and I've been his main camera guy for a
Mhm.
lot of stuff. And I between filming with Derek and then I and other guys, I try to only take a few gigs a year. I do some stuff with Copeland Creative, who's someone that Mike has done
Gotcha.
stuff with, and they're in my mind some of the best. And like
Mhm.
he'll call me and hire me out as like a subcontractor type camera guy with them. And I try to only go out with the cool guys. I've had some phone calls from different people where it's like, "Hey man," the one specifically about 2 minutes in, I was like, "I think I'm booked for when you need me." He goes, "I haven't gave you dates yet." I said, "Yeah, I know." Because this is supposed to be fun for me, and it wouldn't be fun being out with you, bud. So,
That's
but
awesome.
yeah,
So you guys just heard
for the
Lane to
right
shut me
person,
down right there
absolutely.
before I even asked him.
No, 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 I'm not shutting you down. I'm just saying, like, and the thing is, a lot of these hunts, like, I like to hunt myself. I'm doing it because it pays for my hunting and my camera addiction.
Yeah.
So it's gotta like September. I don't film in September except for Derek. But that's because we're hunting together this
Mhm.
year. Um, but I tried to never film in September. So when it comes to a bow hunt, like most of the time I'm out. I hate doing whitetail. The only person I've ever filmed for a whitetail hunt was Evan from Hoyt for Hoyt. And that's
Mhm.
because it was Evan and he's such a good dude and they needed somebody.
Yeah.
But I try to so if it's a sheep hunt or a mountain goat hunt or like something really fun, dude, I'm in. I'll be there and I'll cancel probably like my run of the mill elk hunt so I can go be on that instead. I'm going to British Columbia this August to go film a guy for an outfitter up there and just because it's a BC mountain goat hunt. I mean, it's not something I'm going to be able to go do anytime soon, so I might as well go film somebody do it instead.
Yeah, man. I'm kind of like I haven't been on a sheep hunt yet or a goat hunt. So this year my buddy Ed drew a goat tag in Colorado. It took him like 28 years.
Are you talking about Ed
And
Fanchon?
Ed Fanchon, yeah.
Dude,
You know
Ed
Ed?
Fanchon, my father-in-law grew up with Ed Fanchon. I've known Ed for about 20 years.
So I'm going over to Colorado like the end of July to spend a week with him. We're gonna spend 7 days just scouting sheep or scouting goats together.
Mountain goats. Oh yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
already got all kinds of spots in there that to text over to Ed for that unit. So,
Well, there you go. So yeah, so similar because I
that's a
can't draw
crazy
the
small
tag.
world, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
he
had
talk about
31
killers.
points, I think. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Ed's right up there with it. When I said my father-in-law is a killer, Ed's right there with him on it. So,
yeah, yeah. Talk about killers. So yeah, small world for sure. So I'm gonna go over there with Ed, just because like for one, like I know when I killed my first bull, I'll never forget this. Ed said, "Where are you at? I'll be there to pack it out."
yep.
And that's something that you never forget. That's 10 years ago. And he drew this tag, and I was like, I know the hunt's like during, I'm going to be gone a lot, but I'm like, I'll go with you. I'll give you a week of my time just to go scout with you. And he's like, done. So we're going over there. I'm going to drive over to his house, and then we're going to drive up together to Colorado and just go spend a week scouting and just trying to find some goats for him because he will not pick up a rifle.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Well, if he's not tagged out by the time I get back from one of my hunts, I'm going to go out there with him for a few days too. So
Yeah.
I've told him, hey, if you're not tagged out towards the end, I'll be there towards the end and helping you out. So,
Yeah, it's wild how many people Ed knows in the industry, and like he's not really like a known dude, but when it comes to like people who are absolute bow killers, Ed is up there with all of them. I mean, I think Ed's got to be like 60 something now,
he's got to be
and
close. Yeah.
close to it. And the guy just is a freaking beast in shape and just gets it done with the bow. And yeah, I'm just so pumped to go look for sheep with them or go to them. That's what I was going to talk to you about. Like, I got this. Huh, what am I looking for these things? And you know the guy already, so
Which is funny, dude. Yes, and the way I know him isn't through Pope and Young, the way he knows so many people because he's one of their top scorers. It's literally my father-in-law and him grew up together,
really.
and they started hunting together. And I believe Ed is the reason my father-in-law picked up a bow for the first time. Like they did it together. So really cool, small world. Like if you talk to him about fishing off from Catalina Island and stuff, like that's what they used to do all the time.
Yeah, yeah. Did your father-in-law used to go to Catalina and hunt goats and pigs with
Yep.
Ed?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you
They
can't do
used
that
to they
anymore.
used to make the Catalina quiver where they would
Yeah,
just double and triple up, stack their arrows and try to take over like 12 arrows over there for the weekend and you'd come back with zero.
yeah.
Yep.
That's how Hawaii is, man. Like every arrow you shoot in Hawaii, you lose because it hits lava rocks. But man, there's so many goats. It's like if you ever want to go, just like get some reps in. Like, dude, go over to Kona and just kill 10 goats. You know what I mean? And you could do that easily in like a few days over there.
That's how Prince of Wales is too, hunting over there for those black-tailed deer. If you
Really?
loose an arrow, you can just kiss it goodbye because you're not going to find it because there's a triple canopy that you're shooting into. You
Yeah,
will not find that arrow
it's so
between the
thick.
grass, the devil's club, and everything else that's in there. So I learned really quick over there, like you got to make sure you're solid on your shot because you're kissing the arrow goodbye when you shoot it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna go do not Prince of Wales. We're gonna go above Sitka this year and go do blacktail, but we're doing open sight lever actions.
Oh,
So
nice.
I'm doing that in August. So it'll be during the they'll be in velvet. I'm gonna go with Eric Chesser and Ben Denimani and Brad Hunt. We're all four going up there, all bringing lever actions. I think Eric's like sponsored by Weatherby, so he can't bring a lever action, but he's bringing his rifle. But we're all gonna go do open sight lever actions and go get my first Sitka blacktail.
Can you edit out what island it is if I ask, or do you just want to? You want me to
I'll just
ask you
show you. I'll
after?
just tell you later. I'll just
Yeah,
tell you when we
say
get off.
because there's one up there that my father-in-law and Ed have hunted actually. So ask Ed
Really?
about it. They flew into and they had an awesome time, dude.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I'm excited. It's weird because like the outfitters aren't allowed to tell you where to go, but
no,
like they'll tell you like no, like oh no, you know what I mean. So they kind of tell you where to go, right? So I think we got a really good spot. He's like kind of look over in this area here, and but man, it's a pretty cheap hunt, dude. Like we're all in like 3 grand a piece to go do this
yeah,
hunt.
it's not. I love blacktail because of that. You can do it for pretty cheap and it's fun. They call it the poor man's mountain goat hunt or the
Oh,
poor man's
dude,
sheep hunt because the stuff that they live in, depending on what island you're on, it's brutal country, man, and it's fun.
yeah, and we're gonna be. I mean, like I think it's $1,800 or 1,850 for a plane. We're doing 2 planes, so that's 3,600, but it's four of us, right? So $900 a piece. Then your ticket up there from San Diego or wherever we're coming from, Utah. They're all coming from Utah. Those three is only $800. I mean, right there, you're $1,600 in plus your tags. I mean, you're sitting there like maybe 3 grand, a little bit more, all in for this hunt, and you're getting an Alaska experienced hunt in grizzly country. You like shoot 2 bucks where we're going, so that's going to narrow down your islands right there. Um, and I'm excited to go do it, man. I've never been to Alaska. I know Ed's always been talking to me about it. Like we tried to do caribou a few years ago and we got screwed over because they shut the unit down. We lost all our money.
Yep.
The guy took my money. They cooked like 2 grand from each of us. It was a bummer, but so I'm excited to go up there and do it this time and check it out and see how it goes. And then I really like these adventure hunts, so I'm going to try and do Alaska, every other year or something.
I try to be up there every year, and this year I'll
Really,
be in British Columbia instead of Alaska. But last year I was in British Columbia and Alaska. Flew up there with my kids and my wife, and flew back into a lake. And my wife ended up shooting a moose while the kids were there, which is awesome. The
really,
kids just all day were fishing for pike. It was awesome. And once again, it's more affordable than you think. It's getting
yeah,
more expensive than what it was, but it's more affordable than what you would think it could be. And like with the Alaskan credit card for your flights, you have an
mhm,
$800 flight, but then you get a companion flight every year. So then if you do it with a buddy, that's down to $400. And
really,
there's just little things you can do. And I got enough points on it to most of the time when I go up there now, I'm just flying on points. So there's stuff you can do to make it a little bit cheaper,
nice. Yeah,
and more realistic.
I have the Alaskan credit card. So
Yep. Yeah. It's awesome, man.
yeah, sweet. So your jam is like, do you like filming more than hunting or hunting more than filming?
Man, if I can have a bow in my hand, I want a bow in my hand. But the realistic thing for me is that I can't go hunt goats and sheep every year,
Yeah.
but I want to be hunting goats and sheep every year. So if you give me a bow in my hand on a OTC Colorado elk hunt over filming somebody's mountain goat hunt, I'm going to go do that mountain goat hunt as long as
Okay.
they're like a cool individual. I don't want to be on the mountain with somebody that's horrible. And
Yeah.
then the same thing with like sheep and stuff. Or 2 years ago, I went and I filmed Derek down in New Mexico because I had like a 0 point draw tag here in Colorado, and he was hunting the Gila, and I'd never been in the Gila. He's
God,
like,
I want
dude,
to
I
go to
really
Gila
need,
so bad.
and he was like, I really need someone to come with. He's like, I don't want to use this camera crew that this company was trying to send with them. He's like, I just want to use you. And so I was like, all right, cool, dude. So I went down there for 10 days with them, and it was a blast. So, I mean, we got worked over hard, but it was a blast. So, it's kind of I can't give you one over the other, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, now if I have a tag that's taken me 10 years to draw, I'll probably go do that 10-year, obviously, that 10-year draw tag over somebody else's hunt at that point. But it's kind of hard to apples, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I keep having these 10-year tags that I have 100% draw odds on and keep getting point crept on them every year. So I
Dude.
got point crept this year in Colorado for the third year in a row, 100% draw odds. I end up drawing. Oh crap! I need to return that tag. I need to return my. I got my second choice tag, which is kind of up by you, honestly. But I'll probably return that tag because my kid drew the statewide general rifle tag for Utah.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
So it's the tag that goes from so in Utah, when you hunt Utah, you can only hunt it on the general units from like August like 14th through September 4th or something like that, or August 1st or something. It's like before the rut. Well, my kid's tag is a rifle tag statewide in the general units from September 13th through 23rd.
Oh, shoot.
So so it's
That's
a
awesome.
rad tag, and I've got a bunch of dudes over there, right? Who are kind of like, you will get you a bull, right? We'll kind of give you some. I just needed some areas to kind of go because it's general is a little bit harder. So I'm probably just going to turn back my Colorado second choice tag, which last year was an over the counter tag, um, because I don't want to
Yep.
be gone all of September. Because I'm going to be gone all of October and November. So like,
Yeah, I hear you on
so
that.
I'm trying to figure it out. I'm already going to Alaska, and I don't know. I might go hunt like 5 or 6 days the first part of September and just sit a wallow that I know that there's some elk on last year. So I might just go over there by myself, hike down. The problem is it's just such a commitment to drive. It's an 18-hour drive to get up to where I need to hunt in Colorado. I mean, it's far for this unit. And then just hike down, sit that wall for 5 days, then drive home, be home for like 5 days, then drive back. But my kid's tag goes from the 13th to 23rd. And then 2 days later, him and my boy drew New Mexico tags for deer that are on a military base. And it's another
Oh, man.
dope tag. It's like a 70% success rate. So I'm like, gosh, I'm going to be gone just forever. Right.
At least you're at the point you're doing it with your kids, which is way cool.
Oh yeah. And I'd
So,
much rather go, I'd much rather go chase bulls with him. And we're going to be chasing bulls in the rut with a rifle. Like, and I think we can find a pretty good bull, right? I mean, he's not gonna be super picky, but with the right, I don't know, maybe I'm being egotistical, but I'm like, man, with the rifle during the rut, like I feel like it's a pretty much a gimme hunt for me. We should be able to find a bull and get a bull killed. You know what
oh,
I
it
mean?
should
Like,
be a slam dunk, especially in Utah, dude. Some of those units are awesome that you can be going and hunting with that general. So, do you ever get that anxiety a little bit with applying for the tags of like, if I draw this, I'm gonna be gone for 2 to 3 months straight away from the family?
oh yeah, dude, my wife, like, I'm trying to stay married, bro. Like, she just bought a calendar that has like my freaking COO is like, you should buy this calendar. And it goes on the wall, and it shows like all my Google hunts, right? Everything on there, and it's like just red like from like
Yep.
September through. And
Yep.
the funny thing with my wife with Tricer is she's like, hunting season is year round, right? She's like, used to be like, oh, it's hunting season. She's like, dude, you always hunt. Like, I find a way to go
Yep.
hunting, right? Like this year, I went to Hawaii with her on that one. I did go to Mexico. Where else did I go? I went bear hunting. I went to Africa. Like I've been gone, I'm gone a lot. So I'm trying to balance it out. The problem is like this is like my one boy's going to college. He's done hunting, right? He's not done hunting, but he's pretty much done hunting with me for 6 years. This is my son's last year, so I'm like, we're gonna get after it. So I'd much rather turn my tags back and go with him. But yeah, you're just trying to be a good dad, right? And trying to do everything right. So I'm kind of guiding this year most of my hunts because we got I might go do that. I'll probably keep my tag and go to Colorado for 5 days. I mean, why not? Like, if I can kill a bull with my bow, I won't be picky. I'll freaking shoot a raghorn over water. I don't care. If it comes in, I'll shoot him, get out of there. Um, so we have his hunt, and then we go straight to New Mexico, come back from that. And like a week later, we're going to fly to Africa to go do missions work, me and my son and my daughter.
And that's the
So
Kenya one?
that's Kenya. Yeah.
Nice.
We have 140,000 kids in ministry over there. So I'm bringing over my son, my daughter, a few other kids from the church, and then two of my buddies. And I'm developing a program so we can send our kids over to Africa when they graduate to do missions work for us, which would be awesome. So this will be my son's third time over there. He's like the Justin Bieber of Kenya. Everyone loves him. All these girls are trying to marry him all the time, trying to give him a bunch of sheep.
Is that
All his
just
dad,
outside of Nairobi?
what's that?
Is
Just
that
out,
just outside?
it's 8 hours north of Nairobi.
Okay, cool.
In Katali is our main base. We have a college there. It's pretty sweet. I mean, we're in like every public school in like Kenya now. It's wild.
Dude,
140.
that
We're
is
in
awesome.
Uganda. We're moving into Rwanda now. Like Ethiopia, like Somalia. Like 140,000 kids a week are in ministry now in the schools. We're going into the schools and teaching. It's wild.
Dude,
Like
that's
Mike,
cool. We talked
like
about it a little bit before this turned on, but I'm gonna get that name of that for my boys to start looking at. I
oh
ask
yeah, for
about Nairobi
YWAM.
though. I got some
Yeah.
guys from my Firehouse that go over there every year, twice a year, and they teach firefighting for 2 weeks. to the
Really?
Nairobi Fire Department stuff, and just trying to, and then they take over a bunch of gear that gets donated and stuff for them.
Oh, dude, talk about like Nairobi has like those like the slums, like the little like
Oh,
Slumdog Millionaire, gnarly,
and
gnarly, dude.
that's where they're going, and that's where they're doing the
Yeah,
work
we're
at.
talking like I mean cardboard houses for miles. It's pretty gnarly. It's like I was just in South Africa and it was like we did some ministry stuff down there as well, and it was like yeah this is tragic. But then you go to Nairobi, you go to like Kenya and it's like 10x. Like the
Yeah,
poor, like people like we're in mud houses, you're doing like it's pretty gnarly. And but the crazy thing is like the love of Christ these people have and how excited they are to be there and to work with you and like cook you dinner, right? They go out in the yard and they catch a chicken, they cook you dinner, you know what I mean? Like they're still joyful, right? It makes you really put things in perspective, like how screwed up we are as Americans with like our emotions and our depression, our anxiety, and all this stuff. And it's like, dude, these guys are living in mud houses, not even check to
some
check. Like, I mean, like
some of the
day to
happiest people
day,
you'll ever see, dude.
happiest people you ever met, dude. I mean, this
Yeah.
like with all their kids having a good time and just enjoying life. And we're so like, oh man, like my kid only has a $800 rifle, man. He doesn't have that $3,000 rifle. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty wild.
Heck,
The
my
stuff.
kid wants like $100 batting glove, and he's 11. It's like, oh, so yeah,
I know all the cool dude. That's why we don't do travel baseball. I don't want to get into that right now, but dude, like it's like all these the dads are wearing more gear than the kids are now. Dude, you go down the ball field and they're all freaking decked out with their shorts and their shirts and their mullets and their freaking $300 glasses. I'm like, dude, grow up, Peter Pan. I'm like,
exactly. Grow up.
that that's a sport right there, man. That's a racket. That whole they went from like little league to travel ball. I'm like, if your kid doesn't play travel ball and have a pitching coach, he's not gonna make the majors. And I'm like, dude, look at you, look
He's
at the mom.
probably
Your
not
your
gonna
kid's
make
not
them
gonna make the
anyway.
majors no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah,
like
and here in Colorado, we don't have a little league. It's just straight up. You either play rec ball where it's horrible and kids are making grass castles in the backfield, or it's travel ball.
no
And
way.
yeah, I couldn't stand watching the rec ball. So and helping coach with it last year. So now my kid's on a travel team, and it's a mild travel team. We're not going all over the place, but still enough to where I spent the weekend in Cheyenne at a baseball tournament. So it's like,
Yeah. See, that's what I tell people. It's like Derek Wolf. Derek Wolf has a kid. I'm like, yeah, he's probably gonna make the majors. He's probably gonna
yeah,
be a giant. He's
dude,
probably
his
gonna be
daughter
six.
is, yeah, we've already talked. Like he jokes all around, like you need to get her in volleyball and basketball because she's the size of my 8-year-old and she's only like 5.
Well, dude, do you
So,
see that shot putter? What's that girl? What's his face's
Brock
daughter?
Lesnar's daughter that
Brock
is
Lesnar's
at CSU.
daughter?
Yeah, right here in Fort Collins.
Holy crap, dude.
Massive.
She's like massive. She's broke the shot put record. I want her to go fight some of these trannies. Like,
Sure.
I want to be like get Brock Lesnar's daughter to go out there and be like, "Oh, let's do boxing." Let her just beat the crap out of some people, dude. Like,
No kidding, right?
dude,
No
she's
kidding.
a beat. They should put her in every sport and just be like, just let her wreck shop on all these freaking dudes that are coming in there and taking over girl sports right now.
Yeah, yeah, they should.
So off topic. Sorry for that little digression, but
That's the fun
yeah,
stuff, dude.
it's the fun stuff for sure. It's gonna be a fun pod. So you're into sheep. How long you been hunting? Like, are you like a killer? Are you killing elk every year? Are you
I
like
wouldn't put myself in that killer category the way like Lance Banning and like my father-in-law and Ed and Brian, those guys. I'm not there. Like I still make the same stupid mistakes, 5 years in a row, and then usually that lesson's kicked in. Where it seems like those guys just know not to do those silly mistakes I make. Um, I started hunting. I grew up northern Wyoming. My dad would just go out and shoot a deer and an antelope every year for meat, and
mhm,
that's what hunting was. And we moved to Colorado. He lost access to all of his hunting spots and kind of stopped. And then when I was 14, went out with some buddies from church and kind of got back into it. Tried, but then I didn't get and I grew up shooting competitive archery. I was telling you I was in
okay,
Chula Vista for the Olympic Training Center out there for a couple weeks, just trying to shoot on that national level. Grew up shooting with guys like Brady Ellison, who's
mhm,
won the Olympics. Like I think that he's been on a team that's got gold. I know he's at least got a couple silvers and stuff. So grew up shooting with those guys, and then met my wife, who girlfriend, went out with her dad and Randy, who's the killer. And that first day we went out deer hunting, and I was actually within rifle distance of a deer. And then next thing I know, I was 70 yards from these 3 bucks that were just gorgeous. I was hooked, and I was like, this is the only way I will hunt for a very long time. to get this close. And then I still wasn't taking the shot at 7 yards. We ended up getting 20 yards from him. I ended up killing my first buck. And then, like I was just hooked, absolutely hooked. And then I went over the edge, obsessive, kind of the sign. Not quite as bad as my father-in-law. My father-in-law wasn't at either my wife's birth or his other daughter's birth because he was out deer hunting. And he literally would quit his job every August and go back in November after hunting season. And him and Ed would travel all over the place and hunt.
Really?
So, yeah, and so wasn't quite that obsessive with it, but it was enough to where, yeah, just went head over heels with it and just tried to get out as much as I could and just get as obsessive as I could about it. And yeah, that's where I'm at now. That's why I picked up the camera. I always loved trying to film stuff just for kicks and giggles to share with friends, but then I've realized that that was a way for me to get out and extend my hunting season just out of September. Because most of the bow hunts here in Colorado, you just have September and then you're done. And that wasn't
Mm.
enough for me. And I didn't want to pick up a rifle. So I'm going to start extending my stuff a different way. And so that's when I started filming.
So you're not rifle hunting at all then?
I am to the point now to where I will rifle hunt because there's just some places where I need to pick up a rifle to get out,
To get
if that
attacked?
makes sense. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm kind of
I
on the mindset where I will hunt anything I can get, right? So muzzleloader, archery. That's kind of how I draw so many tags as well, as I kind of put in for everything,
yep,
right? And I have every weapon in the safe, right? And if I could draw muzzleloader tag, I'll do that. If I could draw rifle tag, I'll do that. And then we're even doing some stuff now, like right, like I switched over to like only using a 30-06 now for the last couple of years, like some old a Woodstock 30-06. And then now I'm kind of like, oh, I want to go to a lever open sight lever action, right? And so we're gonna do that. Like, so it's like even though it's a rifle hunt, I'm making it a little bit harder as well, right? Because there's just
yep,
like for me, like that Sitka blacktail hunt, I'm like, man, like I really don't want to go up there and just freaking pick some deer off at 500 yards. Like I can
no,
do that. I could go up there and kill. I could probably get 2 deer down in the first day. If I do it with almost at lever action, it kind of adds a little bit to it. It makes it a little fun and a little of a challenge, right?
exactly, exactly. And like I'm not a purist. Like I said, I'll do it. But last year I shot the first buck I've ever shot with a rifle. And it's because I was
Really.
up in Montana. It was my last morning. And I had the rifle leveled on a doe because I was like, I'm just gonna take home some meat. And then the buck walked out behind her. And then I still looked at my bow and I was like, is there any way I can stock up on that sucker? And it was too much open space between me and him to try. So that's why I shot him with a rifle. And it
Now
was the
is
last morning I had to get going.
and that's whitetail or mule
That was a
deer?
whitetail buck, yeah.
Whitetail.
Yeah, but I still don't think I've shot a muley buck with a rifle. Usually the rifle is used for me for meat. Like I love shooting antelope with a rifle. If there's one species I don't like, I like rifle hunting over a bow. It's going to be an antelope. That God made those to be shot with a rifle.
Yeah, because
So,
they bed down the middle of a field. Like they're
dude,
just
they're
like,
horrible. Those God made those to be shot with a rifle. That's my one that I prefer rifle hunting over. And I've shot a lot of antelope with a rifle.
yeah, like I went and killed one this year, my first antelope ever, and it was kind of like not fun. Like I don't want to say it wasn't. It was cool. Like it was a cool video. I mean, honestly, the video is blown up on YouTube, but it was like, oh, there's just an antelope everywhere, right? It was like a 6 year draw tag, and it was like I could have shot antelope the first out of my tent, right? They're just everywhere, and like you just lay down 300 yards, shoot antelope, you're done, you know. But it's kind of
Yep,
like it's kind of a cool like community thing. It's kind of like I equate it to like the dove hunting of I don't know if you dove hunt in Colorado, but like we dove
I
hunt down
love
here.
duck
We go out there, you know, and like 10 of us line up, everyone's just shooting stuff and having a good time. Like antelope hunting is kind of like the dove hunting of the big game world. Like I don't know how picky you could get with it. I guess you can get real picky, like Newbridge real picky on it, and but it's like, man, they're all 2 points. Like, like I don't know.
I
I
tell a
don't know.
lot of people it's a great first hunt.
Oh yeah,
Because if you
yeah,
don't want to get out and hike a lot, you don't have to. Depending on where you're hunting, you can drive around a lot, spend a lot of time in the truck and glass, and find something to go out after. You're going to see a lot of animals, so it's a great first hunt if someone's wanting to get into big game hunting. And personally, I love antelope meat. It's one of my favorite meats. I
yeah,
know some people that hate it, and I don't get that. Because as long as you get it cooled off right away, it's some of the best meat that you can have.
yeah. I'm a big fan of antelope. Antelope and axis deer, man, are up there. I like them more than mule deer, honestly.
Oh, absolutely, all day long.
And so I'll take antelope over mule deer all day long. I'm a big fan of it. So, have you killed a sheep or a goat yet?
Yeah, I've killed both. So I got
Really?
my Colorado Bighorn in 2014. It was the year my son was born. So It was he was like a month old. My wife had him with on the hunt with me, and then just up there hiking, glassing and stuff. So that was cool. And then I shot my mountain goat in 2018. Schneider was with me on that one. That was fun. So, and then last year I got to go on Derek's mountain goat hunt and film him, and I filmed everything for the slam except for a stone sheep. So I filmed a doll, I filmed a Rocky, I filmed a desert, but I haven't filmed the the stone yet, and that's probably the closest to a slam I'll ever get when I film that.
Now, did he shoot his desert? Was this like a Mexico desert?
No, actually, it was Dave Baronio. He shot his in right outside of Pahrump, Nevada.
Oh, you didn't film Derek's desert.
I didn't film Derek's. No, no, no. I filmed
Oh,
a different guy. Derek is supposed to be doing one this December though, and I'm going to try to go with on that one.
a Mexico one or up here?
Mexico.
Mexico. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Like I was wondering how did you get the slam already? I didn't think I just started hunting a few years ago, right? I don't know
Yeah.
much about him. I just know he's got a bigger bank account. That means he has to go to Mexico.
Definitely has the option for it. Yeah.
Have you not been to Mexico to do sheep hunts yet?
I have not. I know that's one I haven't hunted or filmed down there yet. So I'm talking with me and some guys from Initial Ascent, like Dennis and then Dave Baroni, are talking about doing a Coues deer hunt down there.
Oh, I'm going
So
in January. I go every year. So
really, I might have to hit you up after this because Dennis was talking to somebody down there about trying to set something up.
yeah, I go every year. I go down there and go coos hunting. I'm a huge coos is my jam. Like if you're like pick one animal, I do coos deer over everything.
Dude, for the past 4 years, I've been obsessed with Coues, and I love it because of the way it extends my season into January. And
Yeah.
I've done Arizona OTC, and I've done New Mexico draw, and I didn't draw my New Mexico this year, so I'm gonna just try to get the OTC in Arizona again and be back down there. Since they've limited that tag, it's been so much more fun being down there.
Yeah, I got screwed over this year. I didn't get my tag, and so now I can't hunt it, which is a bummer. But I'm possibly going to be an Arizona resident next year, which would
That'd
be
be sweet.
sweet. So I'm thinking about making the move over to Phoenix. I'm looking at some houses. I got Jay Scott and Jay Piper looking at houses for me right now. So might make a move over there, and I've got like 14 points. So there's gonna be some sick Tricer hunts coming out as an Arizona resident. So I'm like not even putting in. I was like points only. I don't care. I'm not trying to draw any tags because if I can get over there with 14, 15 points and be a resident, there's going to
Absolutely,
be
dude.
some Unit 10 hunts coming up and some really good. I'll probably
Oh
draw the
yeah,
kaibab then, go hunt the kaibab for deer. It used to be you could draw the kaibab at like 9 points, and now it just keeps creeping on me every year. And like now I won't be
I
able to draw
know.
the kaibab like ever. So I've been putting in for the archery kaibab, which isn't even a good hunt. I've been putting in that tag in because I'm just like I'm never going to draw as a non-resident now. I'm in no man's. You get in this no man's land in Arizona where you just get screwed, and
That's where
so
I'm at
now
too.
if I can become
That's
a
about where I'm
resident
at.
and like so like we used to like my kids would draw the cool thing was my kids would draw every year in Arizona and now that's got crept. So hopefully they draw this year. We can go over there and hunt coos year again. So now it's been like every 3 years they can draw. Um, so the problem is for me is like I used to be able to draw too, like the leftover tag. So I drew a leftover tag a couple times when killed coos deer because that doesn't affect your points. But now that thing is just everything has gotten so brutal since COVID.
It
Like
really has, dude.
all the little tricks and like gimmicks I used to do to like get tags every year have just been it's been shot in the foot. So
Yeah,
hopefully my kids draw deer tags this year. So we'll be over there. I get back from Kenya, and then like a week later, my kids will have that deer tag in Arizona. And then a week after, then I think that backs right up to my father-in-law drew a later season bull tag. It goes like the 23rd of November. So we'll go basically be over there for 2 or 3 weeks hunting deer and elk. So I'll just
sweet,
be
dude.
guiding. I'll be guiding and filming. But that's why I asked, like, do you like filming or hunting more? Because like this sounds lame, but like I'm really starting to enjoy the filming.
Oh yeah.
More so the photography.
I absolutely
Uh,
love the
The
photography. Like my
photography
kid's
more
baseball
than
game yesterday, I took the
yeah.
camera out just so I'd take some photos of him playing baseball, and I had more fun watching that baseball game because I had my camera in my hand than just sitting there watching the baseball game.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the filming's okay. I don't mind the filming so much. It's fun. Like I'll film my kids hunts this year. I might bring a filmer on to like his one elk hunt because I just want to make sure we get him a good bull killed. But I film most of their hunts. But the photos, I really love having a camera around just to get the photos. Like when I started using a high end camera, like I'm loving that. Like I got a
so
Nikon
much better than an iPhone, dude.
oh, so much better than like and honestly, so I got rid of all social media off my phone, so I have no more so I don't take any pictures of my phone anymore. It's all on my camera. So like I feel like it's so much more selective and you can do so much more with it. And then you have to like something about having to go back and edit them versus just like, oh, it's on my phone, it's posted on the internet, you know, and like make these
Yep.
photos. I'm really enjoying the photography side of things. It's just kind of peaceful.
Yeah. Yeah. I was filming my buddy in Greenland. We were doing a muskox hunt over there, and we got off the boat. Like 2.5 days of travel to get there. Get off the boat. We are just putting a stock on these muskox, and he looks back at me and goes, "Why do you have a shit-eating grin on your face?" And I was like, "Randy, this is my happy place."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, this is cool, right?" He goes, "We're hunting." I go, "No, no, no. Like with my camera in my hand, being in this spot right here." I said, "My soul is so happy. You have no idea." And he just looked at me and goes, "That's really cool." And I was like, and I was, and at that point, in that moment right there, I would not have traded having the camera in my hand over having the bow in my hand.
Really.
Yeah. And at that point, I didn't know I was going to get to shoot one too.
Oh, you
It
shot
was a
one too.
couple days. Yeah, dude, a couple days later, like everyone's tagging out and the outfitter comes to me and he's like, "Hey, he goes, I was saving these tags because I try to like protect how many bulls are killed in this area." He goes, "But the locals have been in here poaching, not poaching, poaching his area is what he called it because they had tags too." But he's like, I don't, he, before they'd stay away to his area, but then he was killing big ones. He's like, "I'm not going to come back for a few years. So I'm going to shoot a couple more. You want to shoot one?" I was like, "Well, this is a," at the time it was a $10,500 hunt. And I was like, "I can't afford that." He goes, "Don't worry, we'll work something out." And we worked something out. And so, needless to say, I didn't make any money on that trip when it was all said and done. And my wife didn't go on the Belize vacation that we were supposed to do with that money. But I shot a muskox and it was really cool.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, man. I've had a few of those where it's like, "Hey, we killed," like we were in Texas this year, we killed a buffalo. My father did. I'm like, "Do you want to kill a whitetail?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't want to pay that much for it." I ended up shooting a whitetail for like 2 grand, right?
Yeah, dude.
Like you,
Yeah.
you could get these guys sometimes to kind of. I've been joking around with all my friends in Mexico, like well, my guys. I'm like, dude, when someone backs out of a sheep hunt, I'm 15 grand. I'm in 15
Dude,
grand. I'm just don't want to pay 75, but like when it happens, you need 15 grand.
tell him you got a guy that'll do 17.
Yeah, I got
I'll
to
sell a
17.
car. I'll sell
I
a
always
car if
tell them
I
like
have
I know
to
it's
for
gonna
that, dude.
happen. Like I just can't do 75. But like, hey, you guys get a chance for 15 G's to come down there, shoot a sheep.
Dude,
I'm all about. I don't care how big it is. I'll kill a sheep 15 grand.
I screwed up. I should have done it a few years ago. It was pre-COVID. Then I was filming a guy's sheep hunt up in Alaska, and the outfitter was like, "Hey, if you want to come back next year, I can do it for you for 14.5."
To
He's like, "And then
for
you
a
got to pay
doll.
the pilot." And I was like, "Okay, cool." But you know how it is, young kids, and like you feel selfish like spending that money. I can't touch that hunt for 30,000 now.
It's so
And it was
expensive. My
only a
buddy,
few years ago,
yeah,
and I'm like, "Oh, there's one thing that I kick myself on with hunting. I should have done that."
yeah, my buddy just did it. My buddy Kellen did it, and it was I think he got it all in for like 24 or something like that.
That's a
And it's
dude.
like,
That's a
and now
steal.
and that was like 4 years ago. Now it's like you can't even touch it for 30. It's man,
Oh,
I
you
don't
don't
know
even
if
wanna start talking about stone. Stone's up to
uh,
120
it,
for,
I. How do you feel about it?
I think it's BS.
How do
People
you
need to
feel about
stop
it? Because
paying it.
like it's just it's I mean, I get it, it's a supply and demand thing, but man, like, I won't pay 30 grand for a doll sheep no matter how much money I have. Like, I'm not gonna do it. Like, I'm like, I'd rather go travel to New Zealand and go hunt tahr or something and do that than
See,
go
I
do
love the sheep so much, if I had 30 grand to spend on a hunt,
you do it.
it would be, it would be that, and I'm pretty sure I would take that over a grizzly bear hunt. So, um, yeah, I I really wanna get a grizzly with my bow or a brown bear. I don't care which one, I just want a brown bear with my bow on the ground, and then I really wanna get a doll, but, I'd still, yeah, I'd spend the 30 if I had it. I'm
Really.
not selling my truck for it. Now, if they called me, if you were to get someone to call me 17 grand on a desert sheep hunt, I'd probably sell my truck, dude.
Sell your truck and go do it.
I would sell my truck and go do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always pushing them like, "Hey, you get an opportunity. Someone backs out and they deposited, you're stuck with you just need some 20 grand or something like that. Just call me up. I'll do it." Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I just 30 grand's a lot of money. And then there's also the fact like you're not guaranteed.
Yeah, I know. I know.
It's
You
and like
gotta
in the
look at
last
it. You're
couple of years,
going for the experience on it.
the last couple of years have been, it's a $30,000 experience because a lot last couple of years have been pretty brutal up there, man.
Yeah. Well, hell,
Pretty
on the flight up to where I was hunting outside of Smithers last year with Derek, there were some guys on the plane that were like, "Oh yeah, I'm back for my second." One guy was back for his third try at a stone sheep. And yeah, the outfitters were giving them a break, but not that big of a break, not on $100,000 hunt. And it was funny. The one guy sitting on the plane, he was like, "The first time I booked this hunt, it was 40,000." And he goes, "And the second time I came back, it was 60, and now it's 100."
Yeah, I just man, like I just don't know. I mean, I guess there's no way to cap it. If people are willing to pay it, so they're gonna pay it. But man, like, and I'm not knocking guides, but it's like, dude, like they're making a lot of money. I mean, it's like
There, some of those outfitters up there are making millions, literally millions.
'cause people are
And
willing to
because
pay it, man.
a lot of their help isn't getting paid peanuts.
Oh, dude, they're not paying those guys. Oh, they're not paying them 20 grand to do the hunt. They're
No,
paying those
not at
guys
all.
freaking, oh, you're, $1,000 a day. Like that's pretty
Not
standard,
that much. No,
if
not
that.
even that much, dude. If that, because a lot of those, like up in at least in BC and stuff, they get Canada has a program for people to move there, and so they get these people to come in that for their packers and stuff. And the guides are a little bit different, but then they turn the packer into a guide that they've trained, and so then they're still only working for peanuts because they have to work for 3 years before they can get their residency. So for those first 3 years, they ain't paying them jack, dude.
Yeah, I've been kind of like I was joking around with somebody. I was at a Canadian on. I'm like, man, I almost want to skip a residency and just go live up there. Like, go live up there
Oh, I
and get
would
my
love
stuff.
to.
Just go
I
do
would
that
love
for
to.
a few years. I tried to tell my wife and go to live in Alaska. That'd be the one I'd do. She won't do it though, because like I said, we're gonna move some tax reasons and stuff before I get out of California for a few years. And I'm like, dude, Alaska is zero tax, and
I
I can
joke
go hunt.
around with my wife that as soon as I retire from the fire department, I'll have a house in Alaska and I'll have a place probably in Idaho, Montana, Wyoming. I'm from northern Wyoming. I'd like to go back there. And then I'll have my parents' place in Wickenburg, Arizona. And I'll just be bouncing around between those three, but I'll be an Alaska resident so that I can be hunting up there.
Yeah, I'd love to get my because if you're a resident, you can get your brown, you can get
Mhm.
your dolls, you can get your like. For me, like it's like instead of spending all that money on like the guys from Limitless Outdoors did it, Colton and Justin moved up
Great
there.
dudes, man.
The awesome dudes, love those guys.
Yeah.
Like we sponsor them, just give them money just because we love the ministry, and expect nothing from them. And they did it, and now they can go hunt browns, goats, and dolls every year, and moose every year. They love moose. It's funny. They're like, I was talking to them, like, no, we're in it for the moose, and I'm like, you don't want dolls. And next, they both freaking killed a doll this year and killed
That's so awesome,
like,
dude.
but I
That
would
is
just,
so
dude,
awesome.
like to be that residency. I told my wife, I'm like, that's like $100,000 savings plus.
Oh,
More than that.
huge.
More than that, right?
Huge.
You're talking between all three hunts. Go live there for 6 months, get your residency, just spend 2 years of it, get all those hunts done, get a goat, get a doll, get a brown bear, and it's almost it pays for itself.
Oh,
You live in
absolutely.
Alaska. It's a cool experience. You can
Yep.
go fishing, do the whole thing. You got to spend 7 months up there to do it. So it's kind of like a little hidden secret.
That's cool. Yeah, no, I absolutely would love to do it. We'll see where my kids are at for school and stuff, but I got 14 more years at the firehouse, and once I hit that 14-year mark, then I plan on being somewhere else. Not because I don't like Colorado, but because there's so much opportunity in other places.
So I like your take on the brown bear with a bow. I have no desire to kill a brown bear. If I did it, it would be with a bow. Only way I'd want to do it. And like watching Brandon Burns shoot that brown bear and like lay down and they cheated like 14 yards where it was a couple years ago. Like that's where I'm like, that would be cool. But just sitting back and shooting one from 300 or 400 yards away with a 300 Win Mag, I'm just like, it doesn't get me off.
I'm with you on that. It's got to be on the ground with a bow. Yep,
Yeah,
spot and stock,
where he can
or
kill you,
calling it in. Oh, dude,
where he can kill.
yes.
Calling it in, it's gnarly.
So, being in Alaska, dude, we were hunting up there in one spot, and we glassed the first couple days. We glassed over 100 bears, and most of them were
Really.
brown bears. And then you're walking through those alders and stuff, like just through those bear tunnels. It is, dude. It gets your heart going so much. And I never came close to one. We walked up on a couple black bears. Like, I mean, I could reach. There was one I could have reached out and just slapped this black bear on it, but but they were so scared up there because of all the brown bears. I wasn't even worried about the black bears.
So what are you carrying? A 10 mil or what are you carrying on your chest?
Oh, dude, I carried a 10 mil once. You couldn't get me to do that again. It's a 454 Casull. It's the Alaskan. Like the one time I had a 10 millimeter on me, I'm sitting there and I had killed a caribou and I had blood up to here from gutting it out because it was so far away from camp. I had to get back and by myself walking around. I'm like, I might as well throw this thing at a bear instead of shoot him with it. I'm like, and I don't care that I have 17 rounds or whatever it was. Like, I need a 454. So I got back and I bought a 454 Casull. And that's what I carry up there. I need a hand cannon.
So I
I
have
want
a
something.
44 mag that I carry on my chest. I also have a 10 mil, but everyone's you got to use 10 mil, 10 mil, 10 mil, and I have the Glock 20, but I have the 44 mag with like the 280 grain hard cast in it. And I'm like, 'cause I have my father-in-law's a 454. It's just too much gun for me to like be accurate with. Like I feel like 44 Magnum is kind of like that good in between. It's a light gun.
Yeah, my
Um,
theory with the 454 is I'll shoot it once, and if I miss, I'll shoot it again. I'll knock myself out, and then I don't have to worry about it.
yeah, there you go.
So,
No joke, dude. Like when you shoot a 454, it's like especially with this hard cast in it, it's like it is a hand cannon. It
well,
is.
and mine, that Alaskan is only a 2.5 inch barrel, dude.
Yeah.
So,
Mine
and
I think
it's
mine's
something that I
similar.
do practice with, though. I take it
Yeah.
out every year before I go, and I make sure I shoot a few rounds as fast as I can through it, try to be accurate with it. And so, there's a lot of guys I think that just get it and they just strap it on their chest and are like, okay, cool. And yeah, you're going to be sadly disappointed when that comes. So I always try to get out and I try to practice. And then you want to try like really having fun with it, do a reload after you shot a couple out of it and see how that goes. So,
Yeah, I like see, I'm kind of like a FUD when it comes to my stuff. Like I like bolt action rifles. I like revolvers. Like my everyday carry is just like a Smith and Wesson 38, small titanium's like 12 ounces. And I have like the Glock 43 and stuff. I just don't like it, like the semi-auto as much as I feel like the
oh, I have the
revolver is just like,
43X. I absolutely love it.
do you?
Oh yeah.
I don't hate it. I don't hate the gun. I just don't like it as much as my revolver. I just feel like the revolver is just fits better. It's easier. I don't even know it's on me. Right? I carry the Glock 43. I feel like I'm flashing everybody all the time, and yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I like the revolvers.
I'm a huge Glock fan after my police academy. I went
Are
to the
you?
RC unit for a few years, so I had to go through the whole police academy and do all that fun stuff. And after putting 5,000 rounds through a Glock, in
And never
a
cleaning it.
short period,
Just
dude.
shooting it.
So what's funny is, well, at the department, we were allowed to carry a Glock, a Smith and Wesson, or the Springfield XD. And I had a Springfield XD. It was the first pistol I ever bought. And so the last day of the academy, after shooting this Glock, then I shot that at Springfield and I had two malfunctions in the first 100 rounds. And the instructor just walked up to me and goes, "You a Glock guy yet?" I said, "I am now." And you just cured it. 5,000 rounds out of that Glock, doing everything I could with no malfunctions. And literally the first 20 rounds out of that Springfield, I had a malfunction.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, cool. I'm a Glock guy now. So, but then you still couldn't get me to carry a Glock 10 if I'm in grizzly bear country.
Yeah.
I'm back to the revolver on that one.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna go revolver when I go up there. I feel like it's more for me, like it's just more like I just know the gun. It's simple. It's done. I don't
Yep.
know. I don't know what it is about it. I like the revolver. But then you talk to
I'm
Joel
with you.
Turner, he's like, you're crazy. You need to carry, 17 rounds
Yeah.
and
So
pump it
I
full of
had a
lead.
buddy go up there and he asked me before he went, and they were up outside of Kotzebue, so lots of bears. And yeah, I was like, dude, you're gonna want something bigger. And he had a 460 and he had his Glock 10 and he took his Glock 10 and he came back. He goes, as soon as I saw a bear and how big it was, I wish I had my 460. I was like, yep, 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 yeah. I told you that was gonna happen. So and he's like, I didn't leave my buddy's side that had a 460. So like, yeah, dude, like that tried. So that's where my thought is on it. I need that bigger bullet that can actually stop it if something's going wrong instead of pissing it off.
It's one thing I like about having like so and again, I am not a bear expert, right? By any means. Anyone listening to this is just like, you can call me an idiot. That's fine. Uh, I'm bringing my 30-30 with me. Ben's bringing a 45-70. But open sights, that's like the better bear gun than anything. I think is
Absolutely,
open
hands
sight
down.
lever action. Like I'm not pulling my revolver until I've unloaded. I think it holds like 7 or 8 rounds in that 30-30. Until I load every one of those 30-30s into that bear,
Oh,
then
absolutely.
then I'll go and grab my revolver out because the open sights are great, and having the 45-70 on you with open sights is just that's a bear gun. So
Yep. Oh yeah.
we have
Yeah.
backup. Now, if you're carrying a bow, different story. You know what I mean? You're dropping and going straight to the revolver, right?
And that's where
Um,
I'm at 99% of the time up there. The one time we did get bluff charged, me and Lance, Mike's roommate, we were out there doing this float hunt, and we come around the corner. There's this grizz cub on the corner of the river because we're doing a float hunt, and it's just sitting there digging. And I look up and I go, "Oh, dang it, where's mom?" And then she comes out of the bushes right up to the edge of the water and just like slaps it and stands up and snapping her teeth at us. and the rifle is like all buried in. I don't have my gun out because we're on the boat. And I look over at Lance, who was a special forces guy, so he's super calm under pressure when it comes to this kind of stuff. And he doesn't even have his gun out, dude. He's just sitting there and he's just like Wyatt Erbing it, like his trigger, like to pull it out if she comes any closer. I'm like, dude, get that thing out at least if she comes up for it. He's like, it's fine, it's fine. So
Yeah, yeah, that's fun though. I mean, I like that. I like the idea of being in like I was in grizzly country for a week last week. Like I like the idea of being in grizzly country. I like the idea of being around them. I like the idea of having an animal that can eat me. I don't know what it is about it, but like it's cool. It's
yeah,
cool to be
I
somewhere where
sleep like a
you're
baby in that tent too. By the way, like it does not bug me, like at all.
yeah,
So,
it's fun to be somewhere where you are lower on the food chain.
oh
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Because you really are those things. We were talking. I was in Africa and we were going back and forth as Africans, and they're like, "Oh yeah, a lion would kill a grizzly." I'm like, "There's no way." I don't think a lion or a tiger could kill a grizzly, at all. No
ah, they're
way.
big animals. They're agile. I don't know.
They are agile, but dude, like you get like a grizzly on a lion or get those paws on a lion, like I mean,
Oh,
it'd
game
be
over.
hard to kill. I mean, there's a lot of neck there because the lions can go for the neck. There's a lot of neck there because we were having the whole like this is the point when everyone's having this whole like hunter man versus a gorilla thing. We're like, well, screw that. What about a bear versus a grizzly?
That man, that
I mean, a bear versus a lion.
a bear versus a lion or a tiger. I mean, they're both huge cats and quick. That's a I don't know.
I just need to, you know what I need to get? I told some of this too. Like, I just need to find like a rich Middle Eastern dude who can put it together. Like, I need a rich Middle Eastern dude who can get me like 100 dudes and one gorilla, and then also get me a lion and a grizzly. We can just solve this right now. Like,
Uh,
you can't tell me they wouldn't do it. You can't tell me they haven't done it, dude. Those
they
guys, they have so
probably have
much
done it.
money.
There's probably video out there somewhere. Yeah.
There's probably a
Yeah.
video, dude, of like one gorilla and 100 dudes. Like, oh yeah, let's go down here and do it. It's flying their falcons around and having the fight. That's what I need, dude. But fun podcast, bro. We always end with the hunt story. You want to tell us a hunt story? Anything. It could be a sheep, goat, could be anything.
Oh man, I think it's hard. Someone was asking me the other day what my favorite hunt has been, and it's just hard to like pick what my favorite has been. Africa was awesome. I had so much fun over there. I had no desire to ever do it, and then my wife bought one
Same
at
exact
auction.
feeling. I want to go back every year now. I went this
Yeah,
year,
dude,
and I was
it's
like, I
so
want to
much
go back
fun.
every year.
Yep.
It's not what I thought
Um,
it was gonna be.
But I think this last one with my kids, taking my kids up to Alaska, we flew in 100 miles from any road, just me and my wife, two boys, and then my father-in-law were there. And they were just feral for 10 days. We didn't bring in any iPads, no electronics for them. I had my
Mhm.
camera and my phone just so I had my GPS, but that was about it. And it was the most fun hunt. And then watching her shoot that bull after I mean, she's been up there a couple times trying to shoot a moose. That's probably like my most fun hunt that I've been on,
Really.
or at least one of my favorites, just because having the kids there and stuff. And so we shoot it, and we're rowing over to it. And I told my kids, it's getting dark. I told my kids, like, hey, you're about to learn what type two fun is. And my
Yeah.
son goes, what's type two fun? And my father-in-law goes, you're about to find out. And I was like, it's the fun that you hate when you're doing it, but when you look back, that's all you ever want to go do again. And so, yeah, about 20 minutes later, I'm in the water and my waders fall down. And so then I'm soaked from my chest all the way down to my feet. And it's 35 degrees. And I'm sitting there working on this moose and we're rowing back an hour and a half back to camp and I'm soaking wet. And like, but I made sure my kids had their stuff on so they weren't as miserable. And the Northern Lights came out. You can't beat that kind of stuff. So, and it
That's
wasn't even my
awesome.
moose.
Yeah, you never forget that stuff, dude. But fun hunt, dude. Lane, you're on Instagram. Will we find you on Instagram? You got YouTube
Yeah,
stuff going too? What do you got going
just
on?
R2 Lane on Instagram, letter R number 2 LANE, and then YouTube Lane Walter Productions. I throw something on there like every year. It's funny. My kids have a baseball channel. They just do with their phone, and they've got it way figured out way more than me when it comes to that stuff. I just like to film it and put it up. It's fun.
Nice.
I have a decent enough following. I get a decent enough amount of views on it, but it's not like I try not to make any of it my priority. The fun for me is like being out doing it. Editing it's fun and putting it out, but yeah.
Awesome, dude. What a fun pod, bro. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me, dude. Appreciate it.